Okay, Tammy, you still there?
Excuse me.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. Okay. Well, I got 3:55. What time do we stop?
10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, so it's time to start then. Yay. All right, everybody. Let's get this party started. All right, so real quickly, as we said before, as I introduced myself before, if you were in the first presentation, my name is Sherry Cooey. I'm the alarm coordinator for the city of Fayetteville in North Carolina. I'm also chair of the Training, Certification, and Communications Committee, and also serving as vice president of the Fair Association right now. And today we're going to talk about the Certified Alarm Manager benefits and preparation. This is our Certified Alarm Manager exam that FARA offers. So let's talk about some of the benefits of becoming what we refer to as a CAM. So achieving the Certified Alarm Manager status means you've taken the time to educate yourself in matters regarding false alarm management. It also demonstrates not only that you understand the causes of false alarm activations, but that you've acquired the knowledge to produce and develop an effective program for your agency or alarm business. So typically, alarm users are not well versed in how to avoid false alarms. Your certification demonstrates that you have the expertise to give them sound advice on how to avoid false alarms and how to get the most out of the system that they're paying for. Okay. Now, if you're in public safety, your certification also informs members of the alarm industry and that you do understand their viewpoint in the matter of false alarms. It also informs them that you do know what you're talking about in matters of false alarm reduction. Yep. Like that sound? So, acquiring your certification can inspire your supervisor's confidence in your work and also in your efforts to reduce false alarms. So some agencies or companies may even offer monetary incentives for certification. And I know of at least one of our CAMs that I believe that they got an incentive for taking the exam. So on becoming a CAM, basically there's 4 basic steps that we recommend. One being gather the materials, read the materials, organizing the materials, and taking the exam. So it sounds easy enough, and it is, but we're going to break it down a little bit further for you. Okay, so step 1, because gather and read the bulletins. So the certification exam is an open book test. It's all done online, and now we have 2 options for your book format. So one is you can have the option for your materials, you can print out a hard copy of everything, and option 2 is make an electronic copy of the materials. So you can find more information on this on our actual website on the faraonline.org under the members information of certification. So step 1 begins as follows. Decide whether or not you want to print out your materials and place them in a large notebook. Usually we recommend a 3 to 4 inch, or saving them on a flash drive for use on your computer or laptop. Then next you would gather your bulletins and you save them to your flash drive where you print them. Again, these are available on our member section on the faraonline.org. And then, of course, we want you to read those bulletins. It's important that you familiarize yourself with the material. Okay. Now, step 2, want to organize and read some more. So Step 2, this is where we ask you to gather and read the public safety tip materials that are available on your FARA website. And we recommend that you do this like leading up into taking the exam. You may want to do it 1 month at a time or 1 week at a time, whatever you have available. The idea is be able to do this on your own timeline. So then we want you to decide how to organize those materials. So while taking the exam, it's imperative that your materials be well organized. If you're printing out your materials, a good idea is to use some type of color coding. For example, you might want to put orange tabs for your guides, blue for your publications, sticky notes, index dividers and tabs are all handy to organize your binder. Easy solution might be to put a sticky note or tab on your publication or with the object with the publication answer written on it. And if you're using the electronic version, you can organize these in different files. Okay. Now, continuing with our step 2, I will recommend that you save the 6 exam objectives and all their components from the FARA website. And these are, the objectives are as follows: your general preparation and definitions, false alarm reduction strategies, alarm systems, program development, program implementation, and then program evaluation and reporting. We'll wait on the, I guess I should have been doing the little underline thing while I was talking about them. Okay. Okay, and then again, we want to continue on what we've considered to step 2. Start matching your objectives 1 and 3. Okay, start matching those publications that you have to read to the objective they best match. Keep in mind that some of the publications will meet more than one objective. And again, you can read about this again on under our member information under the FARA Online and the certification. Okay. Now we're going to go into step 3. So this is where we talk about the guides for alarm managers. So this is this section. So in step 3, we want you to gather and read those guides and manuals from the FARA website. Again, you can print them or save them to a flash drive. Find the publications that match the points and objectives 4 and 6 and place them in your organization system. Continue matching those publications that you've read to the objective they best match. Keep in mind that some publications will meet more than one objective. Again, this is where your sticky notes and notes on your flash drive are going to come in handy. So, and again, just like I mentioned before, these objectives are found on the website, on our FARA website, under our document section. Now, in step 3, we're going to continue this. Finish up any previous assignments that you have. This is the time to get caught up. And if you didn't complete any tests in steps 1 and 2, this is the time to get all that caught up. And again, guys, if you have any questions, we want to ask, and I should have said this before we started, go ahead and put them in chat and we'll address them as we go along. Okay. Now, in our continuation of step 3, we want you next to read all the rules on taking the certification exam. If you haven't done this already, go again to our faraonline.org members info certification and read over the rules on the exam itself. And I know this sounds like a bit much, but we're going to still continue to organize. So make sure your organization system is working for you. And if not, figure out the changes you need to make it work at this time. So this is a good time to kind of go through it. Can you find everything easy? Can you, easily reference? Familiarize yourself with what you're doing. And again, make sure your system is working for you. Now, step 3, we're still continuing. Now it's time to match your objectives for 2 and 5. And actually, this is when we actually, and I don't apologize, we'll actually would call this 4. So gather and read your remaining reports, the model ordinances and materials from the website. Continue matching your publications that you have read to the objective they best match. And keep in mind that some publications will meet more than one objective. So, and again, if I confuse anybody, please let me know. Just trying to make sure y'all understand it. Okay. So again, we're going to continue to organize. Make sure your organization system is working for you. If not, figure out the changes you need to make it work. And now we'll talk about a few pointers. If you have time to spend trying to find the information and answers, you're never going to finish. So again, familiarize yourself with the materials. Be familiar with what is in each publication. It's not necessary that you know them verbatim. Just be familiar with the subject matter so you can quickly refer to it when it comes to the appropriate publication. And again, when you get ready to prepare to take your test, make sure you have your test materials with you. Some of you may take this home, decide you want to do this from home. Make sure you have carried your flash drive or your notebook home. So you just make sure you have your materials with you. Make sure you have your notebook and the list of objectives and all the publications. If you're using the flash drive, make sure you've got it with you wherever you're going to take your test. Okay. So I'm going to give just a couple minutes. We just got a couple questions here. Let's see. All right, so Sherry wants, okay, she wants to know at the end of this how many has passed the exam and hold this title. We'll have to go back to that. Is this an American course? Actually, tests, you can take it from Canada as long as you can access the exam online. This is an online exam. So whether you're in Canada or in the United States, you should be able to take it. Okay. All right, so now it's test time. So now you've prepared and studied your materials. It's time to log on and get started. Again, like we said, this is an online test. So you want to go to the website, go to training under the FARA.online.org and look for the certification under the info on the FARA tab. Okay. And Jill, I believe you put a questionnaire. Did you mean a practice test? So you just look, okay. I don't know, think we should, I think, I have to go back and look at that. It's been a while since I've looked at the website myself. But I do think we can walk you through it.
We don't currently have a practice test, but if the committee would like a practice test, we could put a practice test together.
Okay. That's a good idea, Brad. Thank you. Okay. So now, once you're on the certification page, look for the FARA online training site link. Okay. All right, so now you should be on the FARA online training site. Once you've created or logged into your FARA account, you will need to click on the Shop for Classes link. It's really pretty easy. So. Okay. What you want to do next is you want to add the CAM exam to the cart and then pay your testing fee. Yeah, and then you should see in your cart the the courses you've paid for. So once you've paid your fee, you should be able to see it under your registered courses, under My Courses and Certifications, and then you can begin your exam. Now, this exam has been adapted to online to accommodate busy schedules. You can do this at work or at home, whenever you decide. It's recommended that you try to find somewhere quiet so you can better concentrate. Okay, so now the exam has also been redesigned to allow you to stop and continue later in the event that you should have to do that. Modules must be completed in order. So you will not be able to continue until you've passed the module that you're currently working on. The exam can be taken over a period of days and even weeks. However, if you allow too much time to lapse between modules, you may be required to start again. If you have questions on the time allowed to complete each module or run into an issue while taking the exam, again, you can email. You typically ask people to email Brad, but the main link to the email address on FAIR's website, you can email us if you run into any kind of issue. Brad usually kind of monitors that for us, so he should be able to answer those questions. If not, be able to, be glad to help any way I can. But technical side, that's when I refer you to Brad.
So let me just clarify that Cher's right that you can start and stop, but you can't stop in the middle of a module. Once you start one of the sections, you got to finish that section because the timer's going to run out. So you can't take a break, in the middle of section one. You got to keep going.
Okay. Thank you, Brad. So modules will be broken down into further sections that must be completed in order. You'll notice that section 2 consists of 8 essay questions. This will be the only section that will not give you an immediate score. The essay questions will be reviewed by the moderator after your exam is complete. Your final grade will be tallied after the essay questions are reviewed. And then once your final grade has been completed, you'll be notified. This. There we go. So now, with these helpful guidelines and your hard work, your preparation will pay off. We're confident that you will join our elite group of certified alarm managers. And good luck. So see, this was a quick and easy little section here. Yeah, it didn't take us that long. Now, I think someone had asked how many certified alarm managers we have at this time. Brad, do you know how many we have at this moment? Because I don't have that figure in front of me. So I know we had 2 that's taking it online.
We have 2 people that have passed online, and then we have, this is approximately probably 20 that over the years have taken it in a paper test.
Right. Now, Brad, Sherry Hurd had asked, if we fail, can you retake or must we pay again?
We are letting you retake one time and then evaluating. If there are extenuating circumstances, we'll let you retake it, but generally the default is you can take it twice.
Okay. Okay, Maureen wants to know how many questions are there. Right off the top of my head, like I said, it's been a while since I looked at the online site, and Brad might be able to answer that question for us. The test does involve multiple choice, and what else? Aside from the essay questions, and Brad,
there are I believe 3 sections that have approximately 10 questions in each one, and then there are those are the multiple choice. There's one section that is more a matching and a list thing where it's not multiple choice. You're having to put together all the things that are similar, that kind of thing. And that one has similar, that one has 2 or 3 questions, but there are 5 or 6 things that you're matching. And then there are the essays. There are 4 essays that are randomly selected, so you get those.
Okay. Now, Tess just asked us again, is it just US content or can the Canadians pass it or take it? I like I said, everyone can take this. We just actually had Alfornia. She works with the alarm company industry, and she just took the test and passed it. So it's not limited to just public safety as well. Those in the industry can actually take this test.
So yeah, amplifying on that, the test is based on the objectives. So you can download the objectives, and you can see exactly what you're going to be tested on. And those are not country-specific objectives. You're going to do the same things and need the same knowledge, whether you're in Saskatchewan or Miami. So it's not wouldn't be a problem for you to take it up north.
Now, Maureen's asking how much time is allotted for each section. Maureen, I don't think it's so much there's a time limit on the section itself. I think it's a matter you have to complete the section before you can move on to the next one. Can you stop in the middle of you can't stop in the middle of a module, can you, Brad?
It's to be honest, it's been a while. Let me look up, but I believe it's an hour for each section, and it is timed. And no, I mean you could stop, but your time's not going to stop. I mean you could go off and do something else, but your timer's still going to keep running.
Okay. Yeah. And when we say stop, you can stop and start. That means after if you complete that module and you want to wait a few days to take the next module, that's what we mean by the stop and start.
Right.
So some people can take this over a period of weeks or even months. But it's recommended, of course, to get through as quickly as you can. Now, I'm trying to look at the questions real quick. Okay. So Sherry said, okay, do you have to recertify? Yes, we do have a recertification. It doesn't mean you retake the test itself. You actually earn points on the recertification. You do that by participating in fair activities or things you're doing in your community for your false alarm program. And that information should be on the website as well. One of the ways I keep my certification going is doing my volunteer work with FARA, chairing committees, participating in committees, training, those type of things. And again, using FARA materials in your false alarm program. So those are, there's a point system that you earn to keep up your certification. Okay.
The easiest way, if you go to a symposium every year, they basically got your points.
Yeah, it's really not that hard to keep it.
Can't get to that. There are ways to get it totally from doing your job, like writing a report or testifying on an ordinance or meeting with citizens, or it's fairly flexible, and it even has an open-ended thing. And then if you don't find our pre-approved something on our pre-approved list, you can submit a suggestion for how we might give you credit. And we're not going to give you credit for a basket weaving course, even though that might be applicable. But we will give you credit for something that relates.
Yeah, and Sherry's also asking who are the graders. Well, the exam itself, the modules that you're taking online are graded after you complete the modules. The essay questions, I think Brad's the one that usually looks over the essay questions and gives you the final grade. Okay.
So the answer, so I grade it, and if there's a question, then I go to the committee well, not the full committee, but the people on the certification committee that have taken the exam already. And I asked them for help on whether to give credit or not. But I've never had to do that because it's generally there's a criteria that the committee drafted for how the grading is done, how many points you give for different aspects of how you get your answer. So it's usually a straightforward pass or fail.
And we do review that every, about every 5 years. We could go back and look through it, you know, as we go on. We know there's probably going to be some updates that need to be made and that type of thing. But yeah, it does get reviewed. So to make sure that we're keeping up with the times. Okay, now Jill asked, what publications, what exact publications should we use? Jill just kind of answered that. Everything on the FAIR website as far as the publications go. The idea behind the exam is to be familiar with the materials and the programs that FAIR offers. That's why, you know, we talked about doing these different steps on organizing your material. Matter of fact, I'm going to call on Tammy. Are you still on the call?
I am still on the call.
Okay.
So, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to call you out for just a second. Tammy was our first online CAM recipient, and she can probably tell you a little bit how she organized her material. Didn't you do yours electronically? Am I mistaken on that?
I did mine on a flash drive, yes. I couldn't do the whole book thing.
Okay. Yeah, and again, that's based on individual styles. Can you talk a little bit how you organized your materials?
Sure.
What
I had a
you?
flash drive. I just had a blank one. And the materials that Sherry showed you, like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, all those, and they had those questions. It was kind of hard to see because they were smaller, but there's like a checklist of questions. There's like 4 pages of them. I literally went through all of those. I made a folder with that question, and then I went and found the document on the FAIR website, and then I copied it, put it in that folder, and I highlighted the answer. I may have had the same document 4 times in there, but it was a different answer for me. And I realized, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to put all these materials together and I still got to study it. You're actually studying as you're putting your documents together, as you're organizing your materials, you're studying. I mean, it's, for me, I could wrap my brain around that idea. The people who did the 3-ring binders, that's like 3-inch ones, I couldn't do that. I started to do mine that way and I just couldn't do it. I was like, I can't wrap my brain how to make this work and how I'm going to be organized. How am I going to find my stuff? I can find stuff faster digitally because then I can do Control F. I can go, okay, I know what the answer is. Just, you know, I just want to make sure I'm right, and I could do that. But I'm happy to help anyone kind of get them started. I can send you like a screenshot of kind of what my folders look like. That will help you. It's just got to make sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. As long as you know where to find the answer, if you don't know it. And I will tell you, you have to know some of these answers because you don't have time to look them all up. But if you do get stuck on something, that would give you time. I know I would do a module and I would go back to double check my answers and I would still have time left. So don't let the timer intimidate you. And it's right there at the screen, at the bottom of the screen. I covered it up because it was freaking me out. So if that works for you, do it. And I did it in my office. I told my whole staff, everybody leave me alone. I covered the window with paper so nobody could look in on me and disturb me. And that was the best thing I could do. Because trust me, they would have disturbed me if I had not have told them. They'd be sticking their faces in the window at me. So, but I'm happy to help you. Just reach out to me.
Yeah, and again, like I said, you know, we mentioned before, when you're printing out your objectives, this is when we talk about step 2. You know, there's 6 different objectives: the general preparation definitions, focus on strategies, alarm systems, program development, program implementation, and program evaluation and reporting. Those are how you're going to organize your material. So you're going to basically you're organizing materials based on those objectives. And once you organize your materials based on those objectives, when you're taking the test, it's going to make it easy to locate what you want to talk about. Because when you get to that particular question, okay, they're talking about strategies. And then you go to that section, whether you're using a notebook or a flash drive or whatever. It's open book. But this is, the objectives are there to help you organize your materials.
I do have another comment. If you are working on preparing your objectives here and you can't find the answer, I did phone a friend. I mean, I know I reached out to Carrie, I know I reached out to Sherry and said, I cannot find this answer. I got down to like 10 questions on these objectives that I never could find. And I finally said, I gave up. I was just ready to take the test. I'm like, I'll roll the dice. If I get a question, I don't know the answer, so be it. But I'm like, I feel like I know enough that I can go and take this. And I passed the first time. And I was so nervous taking it. And so I can attest to you how many emails and questions I had for him, but I'm not a great test taker. I easily get stressed out by it. So I really had to find my happy place. I really felt like I knew the material, and that's the best thing to tell you. You're studying as you're doing those questions. So don't make it easy, organize your materials, because you're missing the whole point of studying. That's where I didn't go back and do other studying. Once I put all these objectives together, I was done studying. I was like, and I wanted to take it as fast as I could. And I ended up doing the first section on one Friday, and the following Friday I did the essay. I didn't do it all back to back. And then for me, it helped me manage my stress that I just did the first section, and then I did on one week, and then the next section I did the following week. That worked for me. But you know how you are as a test taker, and that's how you just play to your strengths. Do what you got to do to keep yourself calm and thinking, because your mind starts racing as soon as that clock starts ticking down and you see that first question. Don't let it freak you out.
Yeah. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, the main thing is not overthinking it, and organizing these materials in a format or a way that it's going to work best for you, and making your plans ahead of time as to how you want to take it, whether you're going to take it in your office, if you're going to take it at home. Right now, there's a lot of people working from home, so this might be an ideal time. But again, you might be one of those who have kids at home, and it might not be the ideal time. So, you have to weigh out what's going to work best for you. But we wanted to make the test. The test is designed to make you familiar with the materials, because the whole objective behind the association itself is false alarm reduction. So you'd be surprised in while you're gathering and organizing, just like Tammy said, you're studying. You might not realize it at the time, but you're actually studying, because you're going to keep in mind where you saw that. So that, again, the organization is actually going to be very helpful to you.
And the sooner you take the test after you've compiled your organization of your objectives, the better. That way it's still fresh in your mind. Just rip the Band-Aid off and take it ASAP.
Okay. All right, and we have any more questions and comments? Okay.
You can do this, people. I promise you can do this. I'm here to help you. I can be your phone a friend. Let me know. I will help you get through this test.
Well, thank you very much, Gary, for that presentation and walking us through on how to become certified.
Yeah, I'll be certifiable. I don't know how to quit sharing my screen, so I guess you just have to look at my presentation instead of my face. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us. We'll be glad to help. Don't overthink it. Don't stress yourself out about it. You can do it. And something I forgot to mention at the end, when you get your certification, we give you a press release. So you get a chance to look good in front of your bosses, your community, your local industry. You can put that out, and nowadays you can blast it on social media. We'll blast you on social media. So it's, and you get to put the little initials behind you, that CAM behind you. So yeah, it carries a little bit of weight, and it shows people that you know what you're talking about. Okay.
Build your self-confidence that you do know what you're talking about.
Yes. You're the smartest cookie in the room. All right, well, thank you, everyone. And again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we hope to see you on the getting that the initials behind your name for too long. We're looking forward to it.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank
Have a
you.
Stay safe.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a good night. Thanks.
Thank you.